Captain Jake Morrison had been flying F-35s for 8 years, and he prided himself on knowing every detail of his squadron's operations. The morning briefing at Edwards Air Force Base felt routine until Colonel Patricia Hayes announced an unexpected training exercise. 6 F-35s would participate in a mock engagement over the Nevada desert, testing new tactical formations against simulated enemy aircraft. Jake reviewed the roster twice, memorizing each pilot's call sign and aircraft serial number. His own jet, Lightning 7, was positioned third in the formation. The pre-flight inspection revealed nothing unusual. Jake's crew chief, Staff Sergeant Mario Rodriguez, had maintained his aircraft meticulously as always. The engine diagnostics showed green across the board, weapons systems were functioning perfectly, and the stealth coating appeared intact. Jake trusted Rodriguez completely. She had been keeping pilots alive for 12 years and had never missed a critical detail. As he strapped into his ejection seat, Jake felt the familiar surge of adrenaline that came before every flight. Tower cleared the formation for takeoff at 800 hours. Jake watched Lightning 1 and Lightning 2 roll down the runway ahead of him, their afterburners painting brief orange flames against the morning sky. His turn came quickly, and the powerful Pratt & Whitney engine pushed him back into his seat as the F-35 accelerated past 150 knots. The aircraft lifted off smoothly, and Jake retracted the landing gear while climbing to join the formation at 15,000 feet. Lightning leader, Major Tom Bradley, had been Jake's friend since flight school. They had flown together in Iraq and Afghanistan, developing an almost telepathic understanding of each other's flying styles. Bradley's voice crackled through the radio as he called for the formation to tighten up. Jake adjusted his position, maintaining precise spacing while scanning his instruments. The heads-up display showed all systems nominal, and the multifunction displays indicated that his wingman, Lieutenant Casey Miller, was holding steady formation. The flight plan called for a series of tactical maneuvers designed to test the F-35's sensor fusion capabilities. Jake's aircraft was equipped with the latest AN/APG-81 radar system, which could track multiple targets simultaneously while maintaining stealth. The exercise would pit their formation against a simulated enemy force, with ground controllers playing the role of opposing aircraft. Jake had participated in similar exercises dozens of times, but each one presented new challenges and learning opportunities. As the formation approached the designated training area, Jake performed his final pre-combat checks. Weapons systems were armed with training rounds, electronic warfare pods were active, and his defensive systems were online. The Nevada desert stretched endlessly below, its brown and tan landscape broken only by distant mountain ranges. Jake loved flying over this terrain. It reminded him why he had chosen to become a fighter pilot in the first place. Bradley's voice came through the radio again, calling for the formation to spread out and begin the engagement sequence. Jake acknowledged the order and began his descent toward the initial attack position, completely unaware that something was terribly wrong. The first indication of trouble came when Jake noticed an extra blip on his radar screen. According to the mission briefing, only 6 F-35s should be participating in the exercise, but his sensors were tracking 7 aircraft in formation. Jake initially dismissed it as a sensor glitch, or perhaps a delayed addition to the mission that hadn't been communicated properly. The F-35's sophisticated computer systems occasionally produced false readings, especially when multiple aircraft were operating in close proximity. Jake keyed his radio to query Bradley about the additional aircraft, but before he could speak, Lieutenant Miller's voice cut through the frequency with obvious concern. Miller had noticed the same anomaly and was requesting clarification from flight control. The response from ground control was immediate and alarming. No additional aircraft were scheduled for the exercise, and radar operators at Edwards were only tracking 6 F-35s, not 7. The revelation sent a chill through Jake's body. Military airspace violations were extremely rare, but when they occurred, they were treated as potential national security threats. The unknown aircraft was maintaining perfect formation with their group, suggesting either exceptional piloting skills or intimate knowledge of F-35 flight characteristics. Jake's training kicked in immediately, and he began running through standard identification procedures while maintaining his position in the formation. Bradley ordered the formation to continue the exercise while keeping close watch on the unidentified aircraft. Jake could hear the tension in his friend's voice as he coordinated with ground control to determine the best course of action. The mysterious 7th aircraft showed no signs of hostile intent, but its presence violated numerous protocols and raised serious questions about base security. Jake's mind raced through possible explanations, none of which provided much comfort. The unknown pilot demonstrated remarkable skill, matching every maneuver the formation executed with precision that suggested extensive F-35 experience. Jake watched through his canopy as the aircraft maintained perfect spacing and timing, its movements fluid and professional. The jet appeared identical to the others in the formation, bearing standard Air Force markings and camouflage paint scheme. Only the most careful observation revealed subtle differences that didn't match any aircraft on the official roster. As the exercise continued, Jake became increasingly convinced that the intruder was not just any pilot, but someone with insider knowledge of their tactics and procedures. The unknown aircraft anticipated formation changes before they were announced, positioned itself optimally for each maneuver, and demonstrated familiarity with classified flight patterns. Jake's unease grew with each passing minute, and he found himself constantly checking his 6 o'clock position to ensure the mysterious pilot wasn't maneuvering for an attack. Ground control finally ordered the formation to return to base, with instructions to maintain current spacing and avoid any aggressive maneuvers that might provoke the unknown aircraft. Jake acknowledged the order while keeping his weapon systems on standby, just in case the situation escalated. The flight back to Edwards felt longer than usual, with every pilot in the formation maintaining heightened awareness of their uninvited companion. The unknown aircraft followed the formation all the way back to the base perimeter before suddenly breaking off and disappearing from radar. Jake watched in amazement as the jet simply vanished from his sensors, leaving no trace of its presence except for the recorded data from their flight computers. The incident would trigger a massive security investigation, but Jake couldn't shake the feeling that they had just experienced something far more significant than a simple airspace violation. Upon landing, Jake was immediately directed to a secure debriefing room where intelligence officers were waiting with detailed questions about every aspect of the flight. The mysterious 7th aircraft had managed to infiltrate one of the most secure training exercises in the Air Force, demonstrating capabilities that shouldn't have been possible. Jake provided every detail he could remember, but the questions only seemed to deepen the mystery surrounding their uninvited guest. The investigation that followed would consume weeks of Jake's life and challenge everything he thought he knew about military security. The unknown pilot had somehow obtained an F-35 aircraft, infiltrated restricted airspace, and demonstrated intimate knowledge of classified procedures without triggering any of the sophisticated detection systems protecting Edwards Air Force Base. Jake realized that he had witnessed something that would have implications far beyond a simple training exercise. The debriefing sessions revealed that the unknown aircraft had been tracked by multiple radar systems, but its stealth characteristics made positive identification extremely difficult. Jake's testimony became crucial to understanding how the intrusion had occurred and what security measures needed to be implemented to prevent future incidents. The mystery pilot had exposed vulnerabilities in the Air Force's most advanced fighter program, raising questions about insider threats and foreign intelligence capabilities. Days turned into weeks as investigators analyzed every piece of data from the flight. Jake found himself repeatedly called back for additional questioning, each session revealing new aspects of the incident that he hadn't initially considered. The unknown pilot's behavior suggested detailed knowledge of F-35 performance characteristics, tactical procedures, and base security protocols. Jake began to suspect that the intruder might be someone with legitimate access to classified information. The investigation team included representatives from the FBI, Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and various intelligence agencies. Jake learned that similar incidents had occurred at other military installations, suggesting a pattern of unauthorized activities involving advanced military aircraft. The scope of the security breach was far larger than initially imagined, with implications for national defense and international security relationships. Jake's role in the investigation expanded when analysts discovered that his aircraft sensors had recorded the most detailed data about the unknown F-35. The information from his flight computers provided crucial clues about the intruder's capabilities and intentions. Jake worked closely with technical experts to analyze every aspect of the recorded data, searching for patterns that might reveal the identity of the mysterious pilot. The breakthrough came when Jake noticed a subtle anomaly in the unknown aircraft's flight signature. During one particularly complex maneuver, the intruder had briefly activated a system that produced a unique electronic signature. Jake's sharp eyes and attention to detail had captured data that other sensors had missed. The information provided investigators with their first solid lead about the aircraft's true identity and origin. Further analysis revealed that the unknown F-35 was not just any stolen aircraft, but a prototype that had been reported missing from a classified test program months earlier. The revelation shocked everyone involved in the investigation, as the missing aircraft was supposed to be equipped with experimental systems that made it even more advanced than standard production models. Jake realized that he had been flying in formation with one of the most sophisticated military aircraft ever built. The investigation took a dramatic turn when investigators discovered that the prototype had been stolen by a disgruntled former test pilot who had been dismissed from the program for security violations. The pilot, whom Jake eventually learned was named Marcus Webb, had used his insider knowledge to steal the aircraft and conduct unauthorized flights as part of an elaborate revenge scheme against the Air Force. Jake's discovery of the unique electronic signature had provided the key evidence needed to identify the perpetrator. Webb's capture became a high-priority operation involving multiple agencies and specialized tactical units. Jake found himself briefed on the operation and asked to provide technical expertise about the stolen aircraft's capabilities. The former test pilot had been conducting unauthorized flights for months, using his knowledge of military procedures to avoid detection, while gathering intelligence about current F-35 operations. The confrontation with Webb occurred during another training exercise, when investigators used Jake's squadron as bait to draw out the rogue pilot. Jake flew his regular aircraft while unmarked security forces monitored the airspace for any sign of the stolen prototype. The plan worked perfectly, and Webb was captured when he attempted to land at a remote airfield after following Jake's formation for over an hour. Jake's role in exposing the security breach earned him recognition from senior Air Force leadership, but the incident also highlighted serious vulnerabilities in military security protocols. The investigation revealed that Webb had exploited weaknesses in personnel screening, aircraft tracking, and airspace monitoring systems. Jake's sharp observation skills and attention to detail had prevented what could have been a much more serious security catastrophe. The aftermath of the incident led to significant changes in military security procedures and aircraft tracking systems. Jake found himself involved in developing new protocols designed to prevent similar breaches in the future. His experience with the unknown aircraft made him a valuable resource for improving detection capabilities and training procedures for other pilots who might encounter similar situations. Months later, Jake reflected on the incident while preparing for another training exercise. The mysterious seventh aircraft had taught him valuable lessons about vigilance, attention to detail, and the importance of questioning unusual situations. His ability to notice small anomalies and pursue them with professional persistence had prevented a serious security breach and enhanced the safety of military operations. The Webb incident became a classified case study used in military security training programs, with Jake's actions serving as an example of how individual vigilance can protect national security. The former test pilot was eventually convicted of multiple federal crimes and sentenced to decades in prison, but the damage to security protocols required ongoing efforts to repair and strengthen. Jake's squadron implemented new procedures based on lessons learned from the incident, including enhanced identification protocols and improved communication systems for reporting unusual aircraft behavior. The changes made military aviation safer while honoring the memory of Jake's quick thinking and professional response to an unprecedented security challenge. The experience transformed Jake from a skilled pilot into a recognized expert on aviation security and threat detection. His insights contributed to improvements in F-35 operations worldwide, ensuring that future pilots would be better prepared to identify and respond to similar security threats. The mysterious seventh aircraft had inadvertently strengthened military aviation security through Jake's professional response to an extraordinary situation. Years later, Jake continued flying F-35s with enhanced awareness of security threats and appreciation for the importance of individual vigilance in protecting national defense. The incident with Marcus Webb and the stolen prototype had become a defining moment in his career, demonstrating how a single pilot's attention to detail could have implications far beyond a routine training exercise. The legacy of the seventh aircraft lived on in improved security protocols, enhanced training procedures, and a renewed emphasis on individual responsibility for protecting military assets. Jake's experience served as a reminder that even the most sophisticated security systems depend on the vigilance and professionalism of individual service members who remain alert to unusual circumstances. The story of the mysterious F-35 became a testament to the importance of trusting one's instincts and pursuing anomalies with professional persistence. Jake's actions had prevented a potential intelligence disaster while demonstrating the value of combining technical expertise with personal vigilance in protecting national security interests. The incident concluded with Jake receiving commendations for his role in exposing the security breach, but he remained focused on his primary mission of flying and protecting American airspace. The mysterious seventh aircraft had taught him that vigilance was not just a professional responsibility, but a personal commitment to the safety and security of his fellow service members. Jake's story became an inspiration for other pilots who learned that individual attention to detail could have far-reaching consequences for national security. The incident with Marcus Webb and the stolen prototype demonstrated that even the most advanced military technology depends on the human element for effective operation and protection. The final chapter of the seventh aircraft story emphasized the ongoing importance of security awareness and professional vigilance in military aviation. Jake's experience had contributed to lasting improvements in Air Force operations, while serving as a reminder that protecting national security requires constant attention to detail and willingness to question unusual circumstances. The mystery of the seventh F-35 had been solved, but its lessons continued to influence military aviation security for years to come. Jake's professional response to an unprecedented situation had prevented a serious security breach, while demonstrating the value of individual vigilance in protecting advanced military technology from those who would exploit it for personal gain. The story concluded with Jake's continued service as an F-35 pilot, now enhanced by his experience with one of the most unusual security incidents in Air Force history. His actions had not only prevented a potential intelligence disaster, but had also contributed to lasting improvements in military aviation security that would protect future generations of pilots and aircraft. The seventh aircraft had disappeared from radar, but its impact on military security would last forever. Jake's vigilance and professional response had turned a potential catastrophe into an opportunity for improvement, demonstrating that individual service members remain the most important element in protecting national security interests against those who would exploit them for personal advantage. The incident became a reminder that even in an age of advanced technology and sophisticated security systems, The human element remains crucial for detecting and responding to unusual circumstances. Jake's story demonstrated that a single pilot's attention to detail and willingness to question anomalies could have implications far beyond a routine training exercise, potentially preventing serious security breaches and protecting national defense capabilities. The mystery of the seventh F-35 served as a lasting testament to the importance of individual vigilance in military operations. Jake's professional response to an unprecedented situation had not only solved a complex security puzzle, but had also contributed to improvements that would benefit military aviation for years to come, ensuring that future pilots would be better prepared to protect advanced aircraft from those who would steal them for personal gain. The story of the unknown aircraft concluded with Jake's continued dedication to military aviation and security awareness. His experience had transformed him from a skilled pilot into a recognized expert on aviation security, with insights that contributed to worldwide improvements in F-35 operations and threat detection capabilities that would protect military assets for generations to come. The seventh aircraft had vanished into history, but its lessons remained embedded in military security protocols and training procedures. Jake's vigilance had prevented a potential intelligence disaster, while demonstrating that individual attention to detail remains the most important element in protecting advanced military technology from those who would exploit it for personal advantage or revenge against the institutions they once served. The final resolution of the incident emphasized the ongoing importance of security awareness and professional vigilance in military aviation. Jake's experience had contributed to lasting improvements in Air Force operations, while serving as an inspiration for other pilots who learned that individual actions could have far-reaching consequences for national security and the protection of advanced military technology. The mystery of the seventh F-35 became a case study in the importance of human vigilance in an age of advanced technology. Jake's professional response to an unprecedented situation had not only prevented a serious security breach, but had also demonstrated that individual service members remain the most crucial element in protecting national security interests against those who would exploit them for personal gain or revenge. The story concluded with Jake's continued service as an F-35 pilot, now enhanced by his experience with one of the most unusual security incidents in Air Force history. His actions had prevented a potential intelligence disaster while contributing to lasting improvements in military aviation security that would protect future generations of pilots and aircraft from similar threats. The seventh aircraft had disappeared from radar, but its impact on military security procedures would last forever. Jake's vigilance and professional response had turned a potential catastrophe into an opportunity for improvement, demonstrating that individual attention to detail and willingness to question anomalies remain essential elements in protecting advanced military technology from those who would steal it for personal advantage.